Well, hi, and welcome to my shop here on October 4th. Another fantastic sunny day. It's like summer again here. Humidity, sunshine, the whole shot. But it won't last long, I'm sure of that. And here I am in my shop. Now, in my last video, if you watched it, you heard me in a somewhat panicked tone examining all the cracked wires in this radio. Well, I've had a day to calm myself down over it. I do feel a lot of anxiety in approaching this kind of work. So I think right away the first thing I'm going to do is change the wire that runs up to feed the light bulbs up here. I've changed part of it up on top, and my examination yesterday showed or revealed that the wires are just as bad down here, and that's this bundle of wire right here. So in fact, right at the spot, no, I was going to say I could see a short just ready to develop, but no, it's not the case. But who knows what's going on in here. This wire's all cracked up here. So that's my first goal. Restore the panel light wire. What? Coffee break? Already? Fantastic. Because the light bulbs appear to be grounded to, well, they don't appear, they are grounded to the chassis here. There's a polarity issue with the wires going up to the light bulbs. So to identify the polarity, I've got my ohm meter out, just ohming out things. In order for this to work, I had to cut both ends of the wire. So the two wires up here, actually I only had to cut one up here, and the two down here at the light bulb, to get them off the light bulbs, which I pulled out at one point, and away from the transformer winding, which is so low of a resistance I couldn't tell which wire was which, all that kind of stuff. I got that sorted out. So what I want to do now is I want to cut this wire out of here, the existing wire, and then take a look at the condition of it. Because every little thing I did to this wire, the insulation just broke right off. And the owner here put a lot of effort into taping this up. But I really think it's just, clearly there's a little bit bare wire right there. You can almost guarantee that this is going to develop a short in here, especially after monkeying with it. Any monkeying with it? Get this out of here. Look how they've done this. They've got it down under that plate. Oh, that might explain a few things too. I was testing to the wrong terminal down here. Because of the way the wire was run, I was fooled. Jeepers creepers. So look, just from me flexing the wire a bit, all the insulation went, and this is stiff as can be. And I'm going to hold this up near the microphone, you can listen to it. I should have heard some crunchy sounds there as I bent this. That's out. This is coming in. This nice red and black wire here. So I just wanted to, I don't know why I actually turned the cameras on, just to get some company in here while I'm doing this. Yes, maybe that's why. Okay, you don't need to watch me fish a wire around. I will do it. So I'm just going to put on the camera while I fiddle this wire into place. So you see the challenge here is that all these wires are all stiff. Everything is stiff. So I don't dare move anything. Even the wires I will probably be replacing, almost certainly be replacing. I don't even want to move them right now. Put the radio into a position where I can't turn it on safely. Then I can't test it. Then I could be, doing a lot of work with a radio I can't turn on. And then finally turn it on and find out some of that lot of work didn't go well, and into another whole world of pain trying to figure out what has gone wrong, simply because I can't repeatedly test the radio. I don't want that to happen. can solder that. So maybe while I'm doing this, I will talk a little bit and take you on a journey. You want to go on a journey? Want to go on a journey back in time? Let's go back. I've turned on the wrong thing here. Let's go back 10,000 years ago. Okay, so 10,000 years ago, not that far back, if you were standing here, well, you might be able to see ice off in the distance. There might be a horizon north of here with a glacier in it. Go back a couple thousand more years, and standing here, you'd be underwater or under ice, one or the other. Go back another couple thousand. So now we're back 15,000 years. You're under a kilometer of ice standing here, maybe 2 kilometers. And go back another 5,000 years, maybe 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers of ice above me here. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't want to be here. But 10,000, 15,000, that's nowhere. Let's go back 100 million years ago. 100, wow, that's really jumping back. 100 million years. You know, 10,000 is a little tiny piece of 100 million years. 100 million years ago, I think dinosaurs were wandering around. Glaciers had come and gone. But let's go back another 100 million years. So now we're 200 million years back in time. North America didn't look like it does now. It wasn't even here in this part of the earth. It was down closer to the equator. The Atlantic Ocean had closed and opened. There all kinds of stuff had happened. 200 million years ago, perhaps even one of the huge single continents had formed on the planet. So North America, one of the earliest continents, by the way, might have been combined into one big continent. But let's go back even further. We're back another 100 million continents coming apart, drifting around on the surface of the earth. 300 million years ago, there's animals, there's plants. Let's go back 400 million years ago. Okay, now we're way back in time. I mean, the earth has gone through revolutions of change, and whole sets of animals have come out, lived, and gone away, like the dinosaurs and that. So now we're back 400 million years. Let's just go back a little bit further. 450 million years ago. What was here? I'm going to show you. I've had this piece of rock sitting at my feet for months now, waiting for a chance to show this. 450 million years ago, this rock was the bottom of an ocean. Can you see the stuff sitting on it? Those are all, I mean, obviously, shells and things like that. This is a piece of very, very hard limestone. It's in this weird shape because it's been cut by flowing water. It's got this sharp edge on it. It's water flowing over it, probably glacial water flowing over it. And that's the life that existed on this planet 450 million years ago, right here, right in the area I live in. This life would be growing in the bottom of an ocean. A shallow sea, I think would be a better word for it. Maybe 50 or 100 feet deep, or maybe a little deeper than that, but not so deep that light couldn't get to the bottom of the ocean. And nothing living on the land. No plants, no animals, no plants anywhere. Some single-celled organisms living in the ocean, but no plants in the ocean or anywhere. Animals came first. I was quite surprised to learn that. So there you are. I am holding in my hands a piece of the earth from 465 million, to be a little more exact, years ago. Bits and pieces of life sitting right in it. Isn't that something? I think that's really something. I love this stuff. Yeah, it's not just radios that fascinate me. Just about everything does. Like, what the heck is going on in this world? Okay, so thanks for going on that long time journey with me. I'm now going to get back to putting in this wire there. I'm trying to add some excitement to my video here. Okay, it's about time to pick the next wire to do, sorry, I don't want to flip this. By the way, if I hadn't mentioned it in any of these videos, the best way to move these old radios is to grab the power transformer if you can. This is where the bulk of the weight is. And then you get really good control on the radio itself. Okay, now there's some easy wires in here and some not so easy wires, and then there's wires that are logistically entangled in that if I do one, I have to do the other. If I do one, I better do both. I better do them in a certain order, and I got to kind of sort that out a little bit. Could go after the easy ones, and get them kind of out of the way, so to speak. I would feel like I'm getting something done too. And maybe if I work, maybe my tendency is to do the harder things first and save the easier things for later. But maybe in this case it's better to do exactly the opposite. Do all the easy ones, see what I'm left with. Maybe in the end the number of difficult ones won't be all that great. Difficult ones being the bundle here, which is traveling in this tube. What makes them difficult? I don't know. Wow, it's just a rock solid here. So if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to do the easy stuff, then I would start in this area, I think, and just start, do all the yellow, do this black. There's a couple of red ones in here. Okay, well, easiest first. Let me do this black one from here to here. From here to here. Do the easy ones. The thing about this too I haven't mentioned is I don't dare reroute any of these wires. They need to go in pretty much exactly as they are now. Now some of the wires, the positioning will be critical. Others it really won't matter, but I don't know which is which. Like look at this wire. This wire's out here in the middle of nowhere. If I change this but lay it down against the chassis, will that throw the radio off? Probably not in this case, because this particular wire appears to be just coming from the antenna. So it's the antenna lead. And it may be in the air here on purpose, rather than have it close to the chassis. Maybe they've laid it like this. I don't know. I don't know. That's the problem. See this red wire over here? It's just kind of casting along, kind of through space. Did it get there by accident? Is it supposed to be laying flat? Somebody's moved it up. Oh, I like to make everything more complicated than it needs to be. But one of the things I've learned is time is on your side when it comes to all this stuff. The more time you take thinking, planning, preparing, the far less likely you are to get into some kind of jackpot with this. Okay, yeah, really very speechy this last little while. I got you all excited about this 465 million year old piece of limestone, but I didn't let you have a close look at it. Here, have a closer look at this thing. We'll start with this big shell right here. And see, there's another one right here. This looks more like a kind of a shape you would see today. These things are sticking out of this rock because the rock has been eroded away, probably by fast-moving water. Do you see? Literally, the rock is all shells, in fact. That's what the rock is primarily made up of, I think. Look at this thing over here. Just to give you some perspective on size, there's my finger. 465 million years of life. Looked like that at the start, looks like this now. Not only that, after 465 million years, something is talking about this stuff. See that little ring there? That's probably a crinoid. An animal that looks very much like a plant, looks like a tulip. It has a long stalk, and that stalk is in segments, and that little piece is a segment. So, as I said before, this stuff grew or was living at the bottom of a shallow sea 465 million years ago here on the edge of North America. And no longer on the edge. Not quite the edge back then, but North America was a much smaller body then. Big chunk of granite. But it accumulated on its edges more and more stuff as the North America wandered around the surface of the earth, banging into islands and other things. It just jammed them onto the edge, and that's what the outer edge of North America is now. Maybe even the area I'm living in. I mean, there's a huge story here. Huge story here. So that's what's on this rock. Yeah. Okay. I find it fascinating. Just fascinating that I can hold this kind of stuff in my hand. You think you'd have to go to some kind of a museum or university or something to get to see a sample in a glass in a glass container. Ew, don't touch that. It's 465 million years old. Oh no, this stuff is all over the place here. There are huge expanses of this kind of rock. Plains of rock. There might be some dirt over it, a little bit of dirt over it, but much of it would be exposed. This was just laying on the surface of some solid rock, this piece. How it got to be broken free, I don't know. And but I picked it up, brought it here. I can show you. Yeah. Yeah, there's lots more interesting things going on in the world than just fixing old radios. That's for sure. Okay, back to work, man. Come on, get back to work. Okay, got one wire done. Look at that. Never mind that. Look at this, another old rock. This is from Manitoulin Island. Manitoulin Island is in Lake Huron, and it's the largest freshwater island in the world. It has 100 lakes on it, and some of those lakes have islands in them. This has come from a hill that's commonly known as Fossil Hill, and I was there years and years ago with my father-in-law, who's long gone now. He showed me this hill, took us there. You can stand at the bottom of the hill, look up through sparse trees, and you would see lumps of sparkling stuff, like mounds of sparkling stuff. And you go up, this is a piece of the sparkling stuff. This is also 465 million years old, somewhere in that range, give or take 10 million years or so. This is called a flavicite. And you can see there's individual sort of hexagon shape, looks like a honeycomb, right? And so individual things in there, and I can't tell you too much more about it. But this would be in a pile, because originally this was a fairly large formation under the water, and then when the water receded and things dried out, these things crumbled and fell apart and just turned into a pile. 450 million years later, you can still find them sitting on the surface. The other point about when I started out talking about this stuff, I mentioned I live in an area that had a glacier on top of it just 10,000 years ago. What I should have said was, when I look out at the land around me, what I see is a 10,000-year-old. Everybody in Canada practically, certainly in Ontario here, you're seeing 10, 12,000-year-old Earth. That's all. What we see was not here before that. It was ice, and the whole thing was different before that, before the ice, just totally different. So oddly enough, I live on this 10,000-year-old dirt that's sitting on top of 450 million-year-old sedimentary rock. Hey, want to see an older rock? Why are you talking about rocks? Let's just keep talking. So here's an interesting piece of granite. A lot of granite, not where I am, it's deep in the ground where I am. But you just have to go a little ways north of here, and this rock is protruding from the ground and becomes the rock you see everywhere. Just north of here, in the Canadian Shield. This is Shield rock. So it's a very large crystal formations in this piece of granite. Not too much pink, a little bit of pink up in here. This would be about 1.3 billion years old, something like that. Certainly not the oldest rock in the world. Lots of granite all around the world. So, granite is a light rock. You don't think of it that way. You think of it, well, rock is heavy, but that's actually a relatively light rock. It floats on the heavy rock. The heavy rock is the ocean floor, and below, I can't think of the name of the kind of rock, but it's much denser and heavier. And the continents are actually floating on top of it, floating around on top of it. And we are on top of that, floating around, very slowly. Okay, pick another wire, Jim. Well, picking the easy ones. Let's pick this red one. We'll pick this red one right here. Is that going to lead to a whole bunch more having to be done? You know, there's a whole bunch of red ones in here that are all relatively easy. I'm going to bend this resistor up. Nice. Yeah. And I can do all the red ones in here. So I think. Oh, no, there's some traveling way up into here. Well, I think red wire is next. We'll leave that ugly, horrifying yellow stuff for the end. We'll do the red stuff next. I gotta find another rock to show you now. Before I show you another rock, let's just do a little wire experiment. So I just cut this wire out. How bad is the insulation on it? Let's just bend it out straight here and see what happens. I straighten it up. You can see what's happening. Voila! So obviously there's some areas that are hanging on better, and other areas where it is cracked. Now, I think that's probably from, you know, one of the forces on this would be shrinkage. Some of the material in the plastic, or whatever plastic I guess this is not is volatile, and it's evaporated away, and that's shrunk the volume of the insulation, and as it shrinks, it pulls, and eventually stress overcomes it, it cracks, and you get a series of cracks. I mean, you see this everywhere. You see it in road surfaces. I mean, you see this series of cracks thing going on. It's almost always due to shrinkage. So, yeah, some of it's actually still a wee bit, I wouldn't want to go so far as to say rubbery, but some is worse than others. No surprise there. Hey, here's another wire we can bend. Let's do this one. This is black. So I think the chemistry of the color affects it too. So how about this one? Let's straighten this wire out. We'll see how much insulation is left on it. Well, I would say none. Oh, that little tiny bit there. Oh, gone now. Yeah, that's a horror story. This is definitely in the top 2 or 3 cracked wire radios I've faced. Okay, next wire. Okay, let me check my red wires here. So I'm looking for any accidental short circuits or dumb things done. I don't see anything, and I'm making sure the connections are solid. Good. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 red wires in. And some junk taken out. I think we need to test this radio at this point. I've done quite a few changes to it now, and I've learned my lesson too many times. Do too many changes, and things don't work, and then you got no idea why. Okay, let's flip it over. Oh, there's more water's just dripped out of it. The water's come out while it's been upside down. The water came up. Yeah, maybe that's the whole thing. Let's look on the top. What's something wet up here? Is it coming out of here? Oh, I think it is. I think it's coming out of this. Because this is wet. Well, I got something on my finger now. Let me just wipe it off here. Probably not a dangerous thing. Here, look out this window. There's my two cats looking in. Hey, what's going on? What are you guys doing out there? Huh? Hey, what do you want to do? Those two guys, they hang around together a lot. They hunt together, I'm sorry to say. They hunt rodents out there. You don't want to be a mouse and live near our place. Okay, right, I'm gonna try this out. Volume down. I gotta plug the speaker back in. Now luckily the speaker wires are not the same kind of wire. They're the cloth covered kind. Let's go like that. Okay. Let me just get some of these tools off the bench here in case I go into panic mode. What would panic mode be? Panic mode would be rushing to turn it off, and in the course of doing that, getting my sleeve caught on something and sending stuff flying, and that would be a panic. We don't want to panic. So I think simplifying the what you're looking at here is very helpful in times of panic. Times of panic. Okay. Look what I've got, my safety goggles because I was out with the chainsaw yesterday or the day before. I have some more safety glasses here. Okay, now I can clearly see things. The radio is all safe. Still have this lead wire coming from the audio input to the volume control hanging out of it. That shouldn't really be a problem at all. And we need to hook up some kind of antenna. This is my outdoor antenna, which is not even switched on down here. It's a pretty long lead, so I could pick something up on it last time. So we're going to flip this on. Power is going to go through the dim bulbs. If I've made a mistake, a serious mistake, the dim bulbs will misbehave and I'll know it. I will know it. So here we go. Watching those dim bulbs stepping back slightly. So they just barely came on there. Perfect. I think that's just perfect. In fact, that's surprisingly little brightness. Now we got both bulbs screwed in. So there's a parallel path there. I think that's fine. The lights have come on. I should have looked at for that. Hey, the sound's come on. Hey, that's all a good sign. Good sign. We're on a broadcast band. What are the chances? Not good. Oh yeah. Now there was a suggestion that the interference I'm hearing, the clicking type interference, it's actually coming from this thing. We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Doesn't sound any different to me. It sounds like an old tractor motor running. Someday I'll figure that out. Okay, that's good. So, radio's working. Excellent. Got a bunch of wires changed. Fantastic. The amount of work in front of me now is shrunk down. I don't have to get so anxious about it. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm done for today. I'm not going to show you another rock. Maybe on the next video I'll have a rock in my hand or something to show off. Okay, thanks a lot for watching, and go enjoy your day like I'm going to do. See you.